In the video from yesterday, I was backtesting using higher time frame biases and waiting for the higher time frame to get to an area of interest before I went into the 1 minute to look for a potential entry. I still think that is the correct thing to do, but part of me is wondering, does that really matter? So I'm actually going to go through a backtest the entire week again, but only looking at the 1 minute time frame and not looking at the daily higher time frame bias. Maybe the bias doesn't matter. I still think it does, but I want to just see, especially because this was a really tough week, I wonder if there were other opportunities without looking at a higher time frame bias. And is this something I want to also document just to see how important is having a higher time frame bias to day trading? Again, I think it is important, but I haven't actually done the research. I haven't done the trial and error, so that's what this video is. If you're new to my channel, my name is VJ. I am on the path to becoming a consistently profitable day trader, so I'm documenting my journey, my thoughts, my process, my wins, my losses. If you want to join me on this journey and become consistently profitable together, hit that like button and smash the subscribe, and let's get started. In yesterday's video, I basically wrote down, hey, price needs to approach a higher time frame PD array, the 1 hour plus, before I can actually enter into this. But I'm wondering how this will change if I just get rid of criteria number 1, as in just on the 1 minute, I need to see a sweep of liquidity. And after that, there needs to be a displacement candle indicating a break of structure. Then I would enter on a fair value gap, an order block, a breaker block, or a mitigation block. So here it is. I'm literally just going to erase that. And this is the criteria. So no higher time frame bias. And let's just see what would happen if I just use the 1 minute candles. So I'm going to hit the replay and we're going to start Monday at 8:30 because I don't trade before then. So I'm going to keep clicking this. Let's see where price goes. I'm looking for a sweep of liquidity and a displacement. That is my goal right now. Up here, this was before 8:30, so I would have not entered in anyways, but let's see. There is a change in structure here, so this indicates bearish presence. There is an order block here, which we could have tried to enter short in, but we would have not gotten filled. So that's the reason why I did not take any of these trades up here. Okay, so right here, there is a swing high. I want to see if price can break through that. Okay, well, there we go. Price actually broke right through that. And here, let's back up a little bit. So price broke right through that. I would enter on a order block, and this order block already got tapped into, but this one right here did not. So I want to target a minimum 2 to 1. I usually put a stop below this, and then if there's a, I want to target 2 to 1. There is a bunch of liquidity right here. I think that would be a good exit. Ideally, I would probably exit right here. I don't know if price will actually go, so I'm gonna try this. This would actually probably be my legit target, even though it's not 2 to 1. It's kind of like what is likely to get filled, and then this would be an actual good possible exit. So we'll see what happens. So yep, we get tagged into it as we saw it. Well, there we go. That is a win, and that's because I'm targeting this, but the relative equal highs right here, that would have also been a good trade. Where does it go to? Actually go straight to this fair value. Oh yeah, you see, price would just continue going up. So this is where the greed aspect comes into place, and something that I've struggled with. I'm just like, oh, the profit isn't good enough. I want a better one. So you do see that the price comes actually up to this order block right here. So that is a good potential trade. That could have been a 3R trade, but we're not taking that. I'm still going to use this original as the trade. So 1.75R. So what do? We snip it. We take the snipping. Then we come to our OneNote. We type in trade 1. We type in win. We adjust it because yeah, there was a sweep of liquidity and we entered on an order block. So that's exactly it. Good. Here we go ahead and we fill in all this information. Just copy and paste this so the formula comes over. And then the trade type, I'm actually going to add a few so I can keep these trades straight in this document. So I'm going to label this strategy no higher time frame bias. There was a liquidity sweep, there was a displacement, and we used an order block to get long. So I put that there, and then the analysis tab, I'm going to put this, and we want to see how this goes. So no higher time frame bias. Okay, right here, next I hit a few next candles. There's liquidity right here. Price swept it. Now let's see if there is a displacement candle. So it actually swept it again. It wants to go higher. There we go. So it looks like there is a break-in structure right here. So there is an order block right here. I would like to enter short and then target this right here. So again, not quite 2R, but it's close enough. Let's see if you get filled. Okay, we got tagged in. Well, it's to the tick. Wow. But let's see. There we go. Now we got to fill. Okay, well, so far this is already performing better than waiting on the higher time frame bias. Wow. So we screenshot that, come here, trade 2, win, paste it. Good, so we basically type in this information, go ahead, copy this. Yeah, it's the same strategy. No high time frame bias. There's a liquidity sweep. There was displacement, and we used an order block to get in. So analysis, I mean, so far, this is, very small sample, but I'm liking it so far. Okay, well, let's wait for the next sweep of liquidity. Okay, so right here, came, swept liquidity, comes down, hasn't broke structure yet, so let's see where it wants to go. Okay, swept liquidity again. So it stopped right here. I need to see take out this low right here. Okay, took it out. There is a fair value gap here. So I would like to enter probably in the middle of this, and then I put a, gosh, I don't know, do I put a stop above here or here? This is something I gotta work on, but I'm gonna put a stop. I'm trying to get in here, put a stop above this because that means I'm wrong, and then I want to target this gap right here. So it's a 1.4R. It's not a high quality trade, but it is a trade. The reason why I'm not trying to enter on this order block right here is price already came there, but this fair value gap, I would like to enter on the center. So let's see if I get filled, and I did not. So this is one of those trades where you just don't get a fill, which is okay. So we want to screenshot this. This is important. Trade 3, you type in no fill. The reason for that is you want to make sure that you are documenting times you're not getting a fill, because if there is no fill, you understand that, hey, when you're actually trading, it's okay to not get filled because you don't have FOMO, because you know it's part of the process. So it's good to document the no fills, and you don't have to do anything on the spreadsheet since there's nothing to enter. Okay, let's hit play and see what happens. Okay, nothing taken out yet. Okay, right here. So took out liquidity. There was no break of structure here, so there's no reason for me to enter long. And I don't participate in trend continuation trades, so this would not be a trade I'd be interested in. I mean, for right now, it's not something that I've been successful with, and so I don't trade this right now. So we'll see, keep going. Let's see if there's a liquidity sweep. This is basically just creating a bunch of relative equal lows right here. Still nothing to trade. Relative equal lows. Okay, right here. So took out liquidity, but it did not reject, so there's still no trade here. It's hitting this order block. Maybe it wants to go lower, but that's not my model, so I don't trade it. I need to see it sweep above this, and then there might be a change of structure. Okay, there's nothing, just took out liquidity again. Okay, this right here, I know in yesterday's video I saw exactly what was going to happen, but I need to follow the plan just so I can have a loss, and I know this is going to be a loss right here, but let's say I saw this happen, right? So it came, dropped it down. There's a bullish, it's not quite displacement, but came down. There is a fair value gap here. Actually, you know what? This is actually just not even part of the trading model, because before this fair value gap could even form, this candle needed to have broken the structure. The fact that it did not just invalidates this entire trade. So I'm good for not trying to book this loss, even though it does break structure here. So that's where my issue is. But this does stop right at the mean threshold, so it means that I should not be entering in because it's not really as bullish as I'd like it to be. So there is some subjectivity to this, but yeah, if we got long here, we would have gotten stopped out, but we're not getting long here. So we keep going. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. This is the 3 drives pattern. I just saw this earlier. Some may say that this right here is a break in structure. There's a swing. It broke above that. Price comes into this order block. So let's back up right here. Let's go ahead, get long, put a stop, and then I would target this fair value gap here, or there is some liquidity right here. I think I want to target the CE of this wick. I think that would be a good spot. So kind of like right here. I know we're gonna get tagged in next. Tagged. Now let's see if we get profit. Okay, so that's how we get the profit. So again, we screenshot this, type it in, trade for win. Perfect. We type all that in, and yeah, we entered on a order block again. So far, this has been probably the best performing strategy so far. All right, well, let's see what happens next. Okay, so swept out this liquidity. It did not show displacement, so we don't enter. This is next liquidity, so let's see what happens up here. Okay, didn't go up there yet. Okay, so it swept above. This is a swing low. I need to see it get broken. It swept liquidity again, takes it out. There's no entries here for me. Right here, still no entries. So right here, it kind of swept liquidity, but I wouldn't say it actually did. So even though I am bearish just looking at this, I'm not going to take a short because that's not my trade. There seems like a bit break of structure, but again, not going to get short here. It actually came into this fair value gap, this order block, got filled. Let's see if it wants to go lower, but I'm not taking this trade. Well, there you go. Maybe that's why. It's like just wasn't a high quality trade. It looked, yeah, it just didn't even take out liquidity. That's why I didn't take it. Okay, so swept liquidity right here, continue going higher. It took out this liquidity here, so let's see how it reacts here. Okay, it wants to continue going higher. There's nothing here to trade. Okay, taking it out, another high. Okay, looks like a break of structure here. So there is a fair value gap right here. I don't know if this counts as it going in there, but broke through, and then this would be a good short. If I don't get filled, I mean, it's like I already missed it, if that makes sense, because it already happened, but I would get short here. I would target these lows. Let's see if we get filled again. Oh, okay, we got filled, and that's how we get stopped. Perfect, finally, a loss. I'm like, this seems too good to be true without looking at a higher time frame bias. So we screenshot this, trade 5, loss, screenshot. Okay, so right here we just type everything in. We change this to fair value gap so I can track that. And then here I realize it says win, even though it should be a loss. So there's a error in my code, so I'm gonna fix it really quick. Okay, perfect. I went ahead and fixed it. So I just added this right here, so win or lose. So you just type in win or lose, and if it's a lose, it'll automatically calculate the stop loss. If it's a win, you'll be good to go. So you just have to make sure you type it in. Also, one more thing, I added this. If it's blue, you could edit it. If it's black, you shouldn't, because they're formulas. So just FYI. Okay, so let's look at what's next. Keep going. Okay, it's 4 o'clock, so there's nothing happening here, but we did actually see this right here is a shift to market structure, I would say. And then there is a fair value gap where we could have entered on, but it's too aggressive. I mean, all happened too fast, right? So we would have not gotten filled because I would have wanted to use this order block and this gap. So no fill here. I guess we could log it in if we want to be thorough. I'd probably target this. Yeah, I mean, comes hits it literally perfectly, but market is closed. So honestly, I'm not going to log this one, but this is what we would do. Okay, so this is the next day. This is Tuesday. Let's see if there's anything in here that's even doable. This just seems like a liquidity grab, and so there's nothing here I would enter on. Keep going. We're waiting. Okay, so here still did not take out liquidity, so no trade. Okay, here it took out liquidity, but it clearly did not want to reject above, and so there's fair value gap here and order block, but this does not look bullish. Honestly, this may even be a good trend continuation trade. I'm not back testing it, but this would be a place I would enter if I was back testing it. Put a stop here. So there's like nothing going on here. Keep going. Okay, takes out liquidity again. Here, if I was trend continuation, comes right to this order block and to the tick. So if I wanted to trade this, I would have to put a tick or two below so I can get filled. Okay, this is something interesting. Came, took out liquidity, I think. Yep, came, took out this liquidity. Big wick. There is an order block within a fair value gap. I think this is a high quality trade. Put a stop right here, and I want to target this right here, this order block. So let's see if we get filled. Okay, we got filled. And there we go, our exit. We would go ahead, log this into our journal, type in trade 6 win. So we type all this in, and then we're gonna go ahead, paste it, and it was a win. And this actually had both a order block and a fair value gap. So it's gonna be fair value gap plus order block. I'm gonna add that to this and to this. So far, I mean, we've only done a few trades, but I'm already liking the no high time frame bias trading. I'm gonna use a giant asterisk here. It's not actually what I would do. What I would do is look for these entry models, but then confirm it with the higher time frame before I actually enter, because sometimes it does make some patterns, but the higher time frame bias is somewhere completely else, and that's how we get stopped out, or that's how I've lost a lot of money in the past. So, but this is cool to see that this is working. If you guys are enjoying this video, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, follow me on this journey. This would really mean a lot to me to help with the YouTube algorithm, and you know, I just want to be able to share more of what I'm doing with all of you so all of us can grow together. All right, well, let's continue, see what's going on here, see if any liquidity got swept. Okay, actually right here did sweep a little bit of liquidity. Wow, I'm glad I actually exited right here. I really like the strategy of taking the easiest profits, and that definitely helped right here. Here, there is a swept liquidity, there's a market structure shift, and the price did go into this fair value gap, but I would have not entered that. I would have entered somewhere right here, so this would have been a no fill, but I'm not going to document that right now. Just something to keep in mind. Price took out liquidity here. Let's see how it goes. Okay, shooting up. Okay, right here, went up, down, creates a swing high. Let's see how we react to that. Kind of takes it out, but not really that strong, and it rallies. So I remember this, documenting this in yesterday's video. I was pretty aggressive with this trade just because, you know, we're using the hourly, we're waiting so long, and that's why we're not able to take that trade. Yeah, so by using only the hourly, it's like I'm missing all of this good action. So at least the way I trade, I think I do like the shorter time frame without the higher bias, because I think I'm missing a lot of good opportunities. So here there's a swing high, it takes it out right here, so that should indicate a market structure shift. And then there is a bullish order block right here. We could put a stop here. I'm going to document this because I do think this would be a good trade, but not really sure if we'd actually get into this, but we do get filled. I do see that. And I would take the exit right here, and this is exactly what I did yesterday as well. So I'd go ahead, document this, put it in the journal, type in trade 7 win, and then we resize it. Put in win right here, no high time frame bias. Yeah, we enter just on order block. I come here, that is this right here, liquidity sweep, and this seems to be a good trading so far. All right, we'll hit play and see where it goes. So right here, it actually goes into the fair value gap, comes down, kind of breaks structure. Nothing here I would trade. Price comes here into this order block and then rejects down, but it did not sweep liquidity. I mean, I guess it did, but it created relative equal highs, so that's why I'm not including this. Here, takes out the low. It's consolidating for a bit. Relative equal lows. Okay, there we go. So it takes out this low. Let's see where it wants to go. Consolidating, comes down. It's lunchtime, so let's see if there is a macro. I do see this order block, and I would enter here. And I remember, actually, I don't know. Like if I did enter here, where would I exit? So I'm actually not going to, because there's no shift. There's no market structure shift. Huh, maybe there was, but oh well. I guess this would have been a ideal trade because it took out liquidity, I think. Yeah, right here, there was some liquidity here. It took it out, and then it came traded into the mean threshold of this order block, and that should be a bullish sign. But after this, there's really no entry pattern, right? So that's fine. There's nothing here I could have entered on. Comes down into this fair value gap and this volume imbalance, and it goes up, takes out liquidity. Nothing here I would enter in on. It's relative equal lows, comes down, comes into this fair value gap, and then yeah, takes it out. So there's nothing here I could enter short on, right? There's a change in market structure, takes out liquidity, but there's nothing here, and takes out this low as well. So let's see where it wants to go. Takes out low again, up, takes out this, comes into this order block. There's nothing here. Literally just consolidating, chopping the whole time. Okay, it didn't really take out any liquidity, so there's nothing here I would trade. Right here though, there might be something worthwhile. Right, came into this fair value gap, came down, broken structure. There might be a entry right here to get short to target maybe this order block here. So let's see if we can get filled. Let me do one tick below that. Okay, well, my rule is if it goes to my target before I get filled, it means just cancel the trade. Didn't work out, so I would not be in this anymore. I want to say took out liquidity, came into this fair value gap, going up, change in market structure, and then we could enter along here. It's interesting, right? There's a came here, took out liquidity, came down, came up, came down, and then it went above the swing high right here. And it's coming into this fair value gap, so we could enter along here, put a short stop right here, so we can enter along here, put a stop here. But honestly, I don't know if I would have actually seen that trade, so I'm not going to do it. Here it takes it out. Okay, here I do see another potential entry. So here is a swing low, broke structure. I would like to enter, I want to enter here, but looks like it already wicked through it, so I don't know if we will be able to. But I'm going to put a short right here, put a stop, and then I'm going to target this low. We'll see if I get filled. Nope. Just runs without me. Nothing you could do there. So it's 3:30, came, took out this liquidity. Let's see what happens. Nothing here I can participate in. Relative equal lows, nothing I do. Comes into this fair value gap, and then it's 4 o'clock. So I mean, for Tuesday it was a pretty good day. I mean, if you think about it, right? I mean, we made 2 trades, and that is a pretty solid day, right? So I do like that, almost $500 just by trading the 2 things without using the higher time frame bias. Okay, so we're looking at Wednesday right here. I skipped ahead a little bit, but we do see a swing high, comes down. Maybe this is it taking out liquidity. It does break structure, so it makes me think that we're bullish. And then we could enter here on this bullish order block, or, you know, on this order block. And just because I saw it, I'm not actually going to go ahead and enter this trade in, but this would be another bullish trade. So, right, you get along on this order block. then you could target the relative equal highs here, and that would be a 2-hour trade. So we'd go ahead, screenshot this. I guess I'm logging it. I mean, it seems like a pretty good trade just because it did break structure here, and entering right here on this order block was too much risk, but I would be okay entering here. So that seemed like a good one. So after you screenshot it, trade 8, win, enter that in, and there we go. That's how I'd enter it, put all in. Again, I don't know, I'll take that with a grain of salt just because I did accidentally see this before I entered into it, but yeah, it is something to keep in mind. But it does validate it because the body never closed below the mean threshold of this, so it seems like a decent entry with a good risk reward, so that's why I would have done it. All right, let's see what's next. 930 takes out liquidity, takes it out again, takes it out again. Looks like we're just going bullish right now. Right here, create relative equal lows, so we did not enter yet. There's nothing here. Oh, it says consolidating for many minutes. I need to recognize how long this is. This is literally 20 minutes, and like if you think about 20 minutes of sitting in front of a computer, that is a lot of time, and this is where a lot of damage is done. So you just gotta relax and understand that 20 minutes it's a long time. Takes out liquidity. I don't know if this is a market structure shift. It might be. And then comes up, I do see it tagging into this bearish order block and it starts going lower. Since I missed this trade, I do see a bearish order block here, and so I'm going to go ahead, put in a short order here, put a stop right up there, and then I'm going to target this spot right here. We'll see if I get filled. Okay, I got filled and I got stopped. Good. We need more of these because it seems almost too good if I'm not getting any losses. So let's log this in, take a screenshot. So we type in trade 9 loss. Good. We finally got a loss, which is good because it makes it, you know, you could do everything properly. That's the whole point of this. This is a statistics game. So we did take a loss here, but analysis wise, we're still profitable here, right? 83% win rate. Again, we only have 6 trades, but that is still really good. Okay, let's continue. So came here, swept a little liquidity. Let's see. Looks like there is a market structure shift here if we're going to follow it exactly to a T. Looks like honestly we're in a consolidation, so I wouldn't trade this, but if we are going to follow it exactly to a T, there's an order block and there's a fair value gap. So let's just get short for the sake of getting short. Stop here. I want to target these lows. We'll see. So we got filled and we got stopped. So this is where I think having the higher time frame bias is extremely important, and this is just a good reminder that just because there's a fair value gap and a order block does not mean you get short. Let's go ahead and log this. Trade 10, we lose. Perfect, just like this. So we type it all in. So another $125 loss. But if you notice it, our average loser is very small. Our average winners are higher. That is the whole point of this. It's a statistics game and you just got to keep going. Well, let's continue. Okay, so I took out liquidity. Already nothing tradable here for me. What about this? Took this out. Market structure shift. Price does actually come into this order block. This could actually be a trade. So I remember I tried to take this trade during the week, but I didn't get filled for this exact reason. But this would be a good order block trade, and then I would target these lows. So we'd screenshot this, put in here, trade 11 win. So we'd put it in here. Perfect, just like that. We'd throw it in here. Analysis, we're still looking good, 86%. Let's start again. Can actually hit this order block. That would have been a pretty good exit. Took out liquidity. There is a break in structure here. There is a fair value gap and a order block. I actually entered to this trade in real life and I got stopped out, so I already know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna do this and I want to target this right here. So it's a 2-hour trade. I do remember getting stopped out here and it's gonna happen again. So we put in one note, we type in trade 12 lose. I mean, I'm already putting lose before it even happened, but yeah, I guess I should probably wait. Let's see how this goes. There we go. There's the loss. So now we got to screenshot this one. Yeah, this is the one we screenshot. Good. And we enter it just like that. So I remember this was just a fake breakout, and here it actually swept liquidity. Now there's a change in market structure. So there is a potential to get long somewhere here, and I would like to do that. So now there's an order block and fair value gap here. And let's see if we get tagged into this. Nope, we did not, but it did actually create a breaker if you think about it. Low, high, lower low, went up, and we should have entered in on this fair value gap. because it is a low, high, lower low, and then it goes up. So this is where we should enter. Comes right to this wick, put a stop here, and we need to target at least a 1-to-1. I don't know if we'd, yeah, see, this was just a bad trade anyways, just because the realistic spot would be this high, and it already kind of hit that. So it's good that we didn't do this, because this would just be a bad trade to enter into anyways, because there wasn't at least likely at least a 1.5 or 2R trade. Okay, so let's see how this goes. Actually comes one more time. Yep, and then I remember this right at 420. I was pretty upset about it, but just kind of shoots up. So I mean, I didn't partake in this, but really interesting to see. Perfect, we're here Thursday at 8:30. Let's see what's here. So it swept liquidity, there is, and then broke structure. There is nothing here I would enter on, so we keep going. Just consolidating. So right here, it kind of took out liquidity and then went down, but still nothing here I would want to enter on. Right here, created relative equal lows, nothing to enter on. Came up here, it took out some liquidity, but also created relative equal highs. So still nothing I would enter on. Comes down, goes up, there's nothing here to enter on. So this entire time, it's like just going back and forth, but there's literally no entry model for me. Comes into this, no, actually created same highs. It didn't even come to the fair value gap. Relative equal lows. Okay, so it takes it out, and it is almost at this order block. Geez, it's shooting down, and right here, still no entry model. So far it's 10:45, not a single trade on Thursday. Okay, took a low. I think it's a break of structure. I don't know. There's no, yeah, I mean, there's still some liquidity right here on the 1 minute. So I don't know if it actually took out liquidity. This is when I would use a higher time frame to kind of confirm what would have happened. But for simplicity, I'm not doing that right now. But I do see that it went up, kind of broke structure. There's a fair value gap and an order block. This would be a good entry. And then maybe we could target up here or this fair value gap, because yeah, we just get destroyed and we lose that trade. So this is where kind of knowing where the higher time frame bias is useful, because if the entire market's going bearish and we just keep trying to take longs, we're gonna get destroyed, and that is extremely important. And that's a vulnerability with this type of strategy. I think using a 1 minute without a higher time frame bias is perfect when we're in a higher time frame consolidation, but when we are trending, that would absolutely destroy us. So we do not want to do that. Yeah, at the same time, remember over here we never took out liquidity, so that is not part of our strategy. If we did take out liquidity, I would have logged that trade in, because if you look at this, we're literally in a downtrend, and here it came right into this fair value gap. We can get short here, put a stop here, but I am not back testing trends right now. Yep, consolidation for a bit, nothing to trade here. Consolidation. Okay, right here, this is the lunch macro, which I partook in. It did actually, I think, sweep this low. Let's see. No, actually it did not. It just made it relative equal lows, so it did not sweep it. But yeah, so I guess my only winning trade of the week was something I didn't even follow my plan. Maybe it was instinct, I don't know, but there is a swing high here. Broke through it, and I got long with the market order instead of using a limit order. And if I used a limit order, I should have entered right below this candle onto one of these order blocks, but I'm not trading that. And I do remember I took the profit right here. Let's keep going. Takes it out, relative equal highs, takes it out, kind of, yeah, still no sweep of liquidity, just left all this here. It did take out this low, but it wants to go lower, so still no trade here. These closing below the mean threshold are signifying bearish presence. Comes to the order block, waiting for a sweep. This is in consolidation right now, so nothing to trade here. I mean, I don't know if I'd consider this a good trade or high probability, but it did take out liquidity, break in market structure, comes into this fair value gap and an order block, and then goes lower. But I don't know if that would actually be a good trade, because honestly we're in a consolidation on the 1 minute, so I'm not going to consider that. Right here, relative equal lows, so right here it does create a market structure shift, comes down. This may be a good long actually, but it did not take out liquidity. Yeah, create a relative equal low, so this right here is not the same as right here. So if it took this out, that'd be good, but it did not, so this would be a bad entry. This takes out buy side liquidity, has a displacement, comes into this fair value gap, but misses the order block by just a tiny bit, and then it goes lower. Jeez, just keeps going lower. Good, and that's the end of that day. So there was literally like nothing on Thursday that was tradable, which was really interesting, right? Using my strategy, there was nothing. Yet that was the only day I was profitable last week, so I don't know what that means, but it just means I'm not following my strategy, or if I am, I got lucky. Yeah, let's go to Friday. Yeah, so we are on Friday. This was Jackson Hole, so I did not trade this, and this was, yeah, gonna be a roller coaster, so let's watch this. At least AM session, if I remember correctly. So still ticks out liquidity. There's nothing here that would have gotten me in. There's liquidity down here. Let's see what happens. It doesn't get there, but it does shoot up 9:30 open. Takes out this liquidity, buy side, chopping around for a bit. Oh my gosh, aggressive. Takes this out and just shoots down and takes out this liquidity. Takes it down, takes it down. Yeah, this is exactly why I did not trade, just taking out everyone. Continues going lower. I don't know if this would be a good trade model. This is a change in structure, comes up, it actually hits the bearish order block. Maybe it's coming down. This could be a good long down here, put a stop, but Jackson Hole, so I'm not trading it. But there is also a bullish order block here. I guess it stopped right here, and that's where it's going up. Takes out some of this liquidity, stopping right here below the mean threshold, so it looks bearish right here of this order block. Comes up, stops at mean threshold, still bearish, and then this could be a potential short, but that's not my trading strategy, so I'm not doing it. And right here again, an order block, you could probably get short right here, put a stop somewhere up here, but I'm not trading that. And that's why, because I don't know how to trade it. Literally just chopping all afternoon. There's nothing going on here, which is kind of insane. Relative equal lows here, takes out liquidity. Let's see what happens. Takes it out again. Come here, creates a bearish order block. You can get short here, but then it gets price got delivered, took out this liquidity, still in. There's still nothing here I would trade. Takes out liquidity, no displacement yet. Comes here, wicks through it. So it takes out liquidity. There is a displacement candle. There's a fair value gap and an order block. This might be actually a long that fits the criteria. I don't remember what actually happens, but let's do this. And we could target this order block right here. Let's see what happens. Well, I forgot. It was actually 4 o'clock, so nothing happened. So ignore that last trade. Okay, so we didn't make any trades on Thursday or Friday using this model in the backtest, but the results are in. We do have, I guess, out of 7 trades this week, hypothetical trades, we were able to be profitable with most of them with only using order blocks. The fair value gaps in order block, for some reason, maybe it's just a circumstantial issue, but we also have only a sample size of 3. It underperformed the just order block, which doesn't make sense because the fair value gap and order block are usually better confluenced together. So maybe it's just a small sample size. We need to see what happens over the next few weeks. I'm going to continue doing this each week. And, surprisingly, fair value gap also did not win. And so order blocks they're the ones that are carrying the portfolio. This is, again, using a no higher time frame bias. In reality, what I'm going to do is trade off the 1-minute chart like I'm doing, but use a higher time frame to confirm my thesis. I need to figure out where the draw in liquidity is and only trade that. Jeez, that was actually really eye-opening for me. I was not expecting that, honestly. I didn't think that this would be outperforming that much. I guess it just gives you a lot more trading opportunities, and it means you're going to take more losses, but I think this might be a thing to explore over the next few weeks. What's going to happen, right? It's I want to show my actual trading results, then I'm going to do a back test with using a higher time frame bias, then I'm going to do another back test without higher time frame bias, and I'm going to continue comparing the two, figuring out which one performs better, which one I like better, which one's simpler, which one creates better results for long-term trading. So yeah, really interesting findings. So thanks guys for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, we'd highly appreciate it if you give us that thumbs up and hit subscribe to join us on our journey so we can all achieve consistent profitability together. Thanks so much for joining me, and hope you guys have a great day.